This episode of the Totally Rad Show is brought to you by GameFly. Today on TRS, we sign into Xbox Live Arcade and check out the game Dust: An Elysian Tale.
Summer has come and gone, and with it, the Xbox Live Summer of Arcade, which is something we usually cover every year pretty extensively. This year, however, me personally, I was pretty underwhelmed by the options that we had for the Summer of Arcade, save for one, and that is the game that we are going to be talking about today. It's called Dust: An Elysian Tale, and that's T-A-I-L. What? Yeah, that's right. You're playing adorable furry creature land. The reason this game was so heavily on my radar personally was because, as you guys know, I am an enormous fan of the old PS2 game Odin Sphere, which this game reminds me of pretty heavily.
It was Odin Sphere and another one that came out after Odin
Because with an M, it's the same.
Metsu
No.
or something.
Yeah.
Mishigori.
It's up here.
Right.
No, it's not up here.
It's not up here. It's up here.
It's over here.
Gosh, I wish I could remember it. It'll come to me. Anywho, both those games, excellent games. And this game has that same art style where it's really zoomed in, 2D, hand-drawn, beautiful, cel-shaded. In fact, this game looks a lot like a sort of Don Bluth animated movie, complete with adorable voices and
I
such.
thought it looked like a Miyazaki, like Princess Mononoke.
Oh yeah, okay,
Yeah.
I'll buy that.
Yeah.
But it is a 2D role-playing, action role-playing game with a combo-based attack system. Lots of interesting stuff. There's a crafting system in it. Alex, tell me what you thought of Dust: An Elysian Tale. Not to be confused with Dust.
Which we also,
The other game
that's
we-
what I was like, we're doing Dust too? All right, here we go. Yeah, no, I had a blast. I was surprised. I mean, first off, it's hysterical. And it's really, it does that great thing where it doesn't ever, it's fine sort of breaking the fourth wall, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of times it's like, hey, like literally the little like fairy friend was like, well, if you don't remember any of this, you can just hit start and go to the inventory menu and go to help. And he was like, oh, I'll do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's not really, we shouldn't be talking about the leveling.
Yeah.
And I had a really fun time. I was surprised because as soon as I started it, I was like, oh boy, button masher, here we go. And then I was like, whoa, this is really fun. Maybe some of the best combat, button mashy combat that I've ever played, because I was really like, bip, I mean, it was like a little karate dance, you know what I mean? Like I had my little rhythm, and when he didn't do what I was expecting him to do, I knew because my rhythm was off.
You weren't mashing. You were.
No, I was definitely not.
executing the
Yes.
combos you wanted to execute.
And when I didn't execute, I was like, I hit that wrong. Whereas in most games, I go, why the hell won't it do the thing? I'm hitting it fine. You know what I mean?
There's really cool combos. I mean, not cool in the way that every other game is cool. It's got an interesting script flip.
It does. It really does. And I mean, it's just a fun world to be in. It's such a gorgeous world to be in, and the voice acting is really fun, and it was really great, and it gives you a lot of skills sort of as you go. It's like, now you can do this, now you can do this, now you can do this. And when you start really getting into it, you're doing a lot of crap. You're keeping a lot of crap in your brain, you know what I mean? So it's like, I had a blast.
Dan, this does seem like a game you would like.
Sure does.
It's got the role-playing elements, it's got the traversal fun stuff, it's got searching for treasures.
Anytime things are firing on all cylinders, I'm having a good time.
Dan loves cylinders.
I love cylinders. Spheres, cones, all fun objects.
Really geometry, you're just a fan.
I am.
As long as they're firing.
You guys know how much I love Tetris. Dust is awesome. Beautiful game. Love the combat, like you said, because it's so grand. You know,
That's a good way to put it,
it's like it starts out small and then escalates, and it's always the kinds of things that could be just a twirl. Or I'm twirling everywhere across the screen, and the massive explosions are happening.
Yeah, it kind of takes the limiter off. You know, it's like, it's like, oh, do you like doing this in games? Well, you can really frickin' do it here.
But it's still, that's not your end game
5 minutes.
where like
button,
after
right.
5 minutes you hit it and then it explodes everywhere and you have to save it. It's like, no, that's a part of the combo system of that. And I loved when the giant guys would come out, and I'd have to. I loved that it wasn't giant guy comes out, and now the game is impossibly hard, and I have to whittle him away. Though I do enjoy that too, which is in some MMOs. But in this game, I love that giant guy comes out, and he's still just as simple as long as I learn him, and I am skillful. But it's a blast because he's a giant guy, and I'm taking him down, and it feels so great. And I love that the crafting and leveling stuff is so easy. When you first encounter crafting, I was like, oh no, it's only one guy who crafts, and I have to traverse all this again, but no,
it's all linked together.
Anytime, and I normally don't like the Metroid style or Zelda style of I see an object but I can't get it yet, and I go throughout the game and I have to remember where that was, and I'm backtracking, I'm going into areas I've already been, and blah, 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 blah. But you know what? Because you can sort of fast travel back to those places, it ain't so bad. And it kind of lets you know, and not only that, but because you're getting XP in the game, which you don't do in Zelda or Metroid. I'm actually having a blast going back into rooms that I've already encountered because I'm killing guys, that I'm grinding guys basically that are giving me XP. It's a game that looks and feels like it should have a beautiful soundtrack that I love and want to own. I didn't feel that way. That's my one big gripe with the game. Probably a lot of people love it and are like already downloading the music or that. For me, I didn't love it. I actually loved, I didn't say yesterday in Guild Wars, loved the music in that game. Want to own it. It's one of the best musics in games. This game should have had beautiful music. It did not. That's all I can say that's negative.
Well, I will
not that it's bad music,
agree with both of you guys. Boy, you both nailed it as far as I'm concerned. It's that combat system is so great, and it's that combat system is that foundation, that bedrock upon which all these other fun layers are put. But you have to have that fun, adventurous, like, oh, I'm getting extra XP for having a high combo, so I really want to do a high combo.
I don't want to be hit not because I lose health points, but because I want the XP.
I want the XP. It's my skills are improving, and I'm chaining more things together, and I'm leveling up my guys so you can do new things that will add to being able to continue my combos. So much fun, and it is such a beautiful, beautiful thing to look at. I'm such a sucker for these zoomed in 2D.
And it doesn't say zoomed in. There's a couple times where it zooms out, and I'm like, oh, right, I'm really zoomed in. You know what I mean? Like,
but it's that it looks like I'm playing a cartoon. I remember when I was young, one of the big reasons that I got a 3DO was that it came with Batman the Animated Series on CD, and you could play it on your 3DO, and I was like, someday video games are going to look like cartoons. And we'll be living in Shangri-La.
And that's why you bought your original Xbox for that like black and white cell shaded car game. That
it was.
I love that game.
The racing game that was a launch title on the Xbox. What was that called? It was a racing game, but it was on foot. It was basically a kart racer, but they never had karts. They had it on foot.
Oh, that's fun.
What was it called? Cell.
No, that's the car one. Yeah, it's called Cell.
No,
something.
there was something. Anyway.
Well, I'm surprised you didn't
Cell
get,
Damage. Yeah, that was that one.
CDI. Because the CDI had the
Philips CDI?
The Philips CDI had the Zelda game, that weird Zelda game that was like a cartoon that you controlled.
Anyway, this game delivers on that promise. Certainly not the first game to do so, but it does so magnificently. It's gorgeous. It's fun. You get into these cutscenes, and you're basically watching a cartoon, which is wonderful. But the layers of the game is deep. It's the combat system is deep. The role-playing system is deep. The crafting system is deep. The exploration is deep.
You're deep.
It's sweeping the deeps for me, and it's a wonderful experience for not a lot of money, and I think it's the best of any of the downloadable summer games.
I dug Deadlight. I didn't finish it by any means, but
more than this?
Deadlight? No, this is great. This Dust is awesome. Yeah. Game of the Year contender.
Said it here first.
All right, everybody, be sure to stick around. We're going to be answering one of your Twitter questions right after this, but first we want to thank our sponsor.
Gamefly! Gamefly, the largest online video game rental service. Oh my gosh, I wish there was Housefly. I wish a Housefly let me rent houses. But no, a Gamefly lets me rent games. And over 8,000 new and classic titles from across all consoles and handhelds. So really, anything you possibly want to play, you're going to find it on Gamefly. With plans as low as $15.95 a month, you can start. You can rent 1 to 4 games, keep them as long as you want.
So
you never have to send them back.
So buttery cheap.
There's no due date to send them back. There's no late fees for not sending them back. It's so rad. You can play it as long as you want. Nobody's breathing down your neck. But if you play them really quickly, you can just they'll send the next one on your list. You can keep popping through those games through Gamefly. It's so sweet. You can also play hundreds of PC games for free with the unlimited PC play, which is really cool because you guys are PC gamers now.
Dude, I was just wondering about that.
Giggle City, Utah. Population, Alex.
Bam.
If you don't believe Alex, what with the I mean, you can't believe that face, can you?
Yeah, it's a
You're
face
giggling.
It's a face of honesty.
No, don't believe him. Don't believe us. Don't take Dan's word for it. Don't even take my word.
Try it out yourself.
Why'd you bring me into this?
15 days of free trial. You can take your own word for it. Hang out at gamefly.com/TTRS. That second T, of course, stands for
Tens.
Totally.
Trunks. We'll see you online on that spot where you hang out to get those
Game
15-day
flaps.
free trials. Really, seriously, you're
Yeah.
losing money not doing it.
Everybody, go home.
Check us out tomorrow to find out what else is on our radar this week.
Today's Twitter question sent in with the hashtag TRSQ from Alex Volchi, who is, interestingly enough, at Brandon Lopez 908 on Twitter.
That is amazing.
It says,
Sounds like
That
an
sounds like a
error that
mistake,
Micah
but
may
we're not
have
sure.
made.
We're not sure. Or it's just the most cool.
yeah.
Well, let's just keep going and pretend that worked.
Keeping the trend of totally rad products.
Like sandwich and pizza and a couple other things we've done.
other
Ice
questions
cream.
we've answered.
Yep, ice
what
cream.
genres and elements would go into the totally rad video game?
Well, the hard thing is, with
we
this
have-
question is a lot of, like, we all have different things.
Let me make it easier for
Has
you.
to be co-op.
Has to be co-op, otherwise I'm out.
Three-player co-op, strangely enough.
Three-player co-op, perfect.
Boom.
The triad.
It has to feature an extreme sport like BMX or skateboarding to include the rad moniker.
Oh, I thought it was our favorite.
I know, I was like, what are you talking
But
about?
It's got that.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
surfing, so it's kind of like California
You know what
games.
you're making? We're making a
California
open
games.
world game that Alex would hate. That's what we're making.
Well,
the
so it's not open
problem.
world. So it's not open world. That's what's so
Well, but
exciting.
open world's okay because we have the
completely linear.
co-op because
Oh, so
World of
MMO.
Warcraft
It's an
is-
MMO.
MMOs
We're
are
making an MMO.
All right, with BMX.
And there's
racing.
aliens from Alpha
BMX
2.
racing. Something happened in Guild Wars 2, by the way, where we were like wandering around and it sounded like an alien spaceship was landing. We were like, what the balls?
My area is kind of alien-y.
Yeah, but spaceships landing?
No.
What happened in WoW? Giant goat
Sure
people.
not.
Giant goat people. Yeah, yeah.
Anywho, our game also would include awesome graphics.
Yeah.
Sound.
Or
Top-notch
retro.
graphics.
No, retro graphics. 8-bit
Retro?
graphics.
Jeff hates retro graphics.
I don't hate anything.
Well,
It's totally rad. Come on.
I like it.
Our
I wanna
game,
play,
our game
I
has
want to
needs
play
some
this game.
more time in the oven.
Yeah.
You know what? Let's just bake it a bit. Let's just bake it a bit and see
I
where
think
we
we're
get.
better at doing food products.